Hey, did you know that Everything Everywhere All at Once cleaned up at the Oscars? Pretty much won every award it was nominated for. A major victory for small filmmaking, a major victory for Asian filmmaking. Michelle Yeoh won Best Actress. But that's not the number one movie story everybody's talking about in the world. Oh no, the number one movie story everybody's talking about in the world is the Dungeons and Dragons movie, Honor Amongst Thieves. And specifically today, we're talking about this. Now, I can't talk too much about this picture because I'll violate copyrights and get in trouble. I already had this video taken down once. But hey, look who makes a cameo in the Dungeons and Dragons movie. Except it's a 13-minute long scene. So 13 minutes is not a cameo. 13 minutes is a short movie, and they feature prominently in most of the scenes that they're in. Obviously, they're made to look, incompetent to make the major characters look more competent as the incompetent major characters can look. But hey, the kids from the show show up. Now, I'm not even going to touch all the other stuff that we went through last year about the kids in the show and delusional people who thought they were real, or how the show really happened, or that they're canon, or who owns the copyrights, or whatever. Okay. Let's just focus on the fact that the images of the individuals from the cartoon character, from the cartoon show, are in this scene for 13 minutes, which in my mind tells me we could have had the D&D movie we wanted, but instead you gave us Honor Amongst Thieves. Because if you can use these images of these kids and say whether they are the kids from the cartoon, or like last year when Wizards said, no, they're not the kids from the cartoon, they're an homage to the kids from the cartoon. I don't know. I don't care. I'm sure other people are going to argue about this. This is the first and last time hopefully I'm going to talk about it. Instead, I want to focus on the fact that, hey, if you can get away with this, why didn't we have this movie? Because this is the D&D movie everybody wanted. We knew it could be made. We saw the commercial from Renault from Brazil that showed up at the Super Bowl. We know that these guys a movie with the effects level showing these kids, the characters or versions of the characters can show up. And hey, look, there's Venture. So fine, whatever. Who cares? The D&D movie we wanted. Hey, we're making a D&D movie. Hey, use the kids from the show. Oh, we can't use the kids from the cartoon show because whatever. Hey, but if you're going to make a D&D movie, wouldn't you want to milk the nostalgia? And the cartoon is pretty much a perfect way to get both people who love D&D and know what it is, and people who are just sort of casually aware of Dungeons and Dragons, and people who have no idea what Dungeons and Dragons is, to all get together and just watch a movie, because we want to watch what happened to the kids from the show between the end of the show and the beginning of the movie. So why can't you just make the movie about the kids from the cartoon show in the 80s? Oh, we can't. Instead, we're going to introduce brand new characters, even though it's an established world with established NPCs and an established setting, an established plot line, and the bad guys are established bad guys, the Red Wizards of Thay. Takes place in Neverwinter. Look, there's the Displacer's Beast. There's a Beholder. There's a Gelatinous Cube. There's a Druid turning into an owlbear. Here is 13-minute short film featuring the kids from the cartoon, or images of the kids from the cartoon. Why couldn't you just given us the movie that we wanted about the kids from the cartoon? This 13-minute scene proves you could do it. All you had to do is have Chris Pine play Hank. And, we've already got Michelle Rodriguez could have played her, and Lilith could have played her. And, the other two, Will Smith's kid could have played one of this guy or this guy, and Renault could have played this guy or this guy. And no, would people be upset that you race swap since Eric and Presto were white? No, of course not. Nobody would care. You could have got Lilith to play Bobby, since Bobby was maybe trans, because only virgin females can have unicorns as pets. But Bobby had a unicorn. You're not even another thing we're not going to get into. Okay, there was another controversy that came out of the book. You could have used the exact same cast plus as the grown-up version of the individuals from the cartoon, or as an homage to the grown-up visuals, to the images from the cartoon, and given us the D&D movie we wanted, but instead you gave us Honor Amongst Thieves. So instead of this, we get this. Could have had Eric and, you know, the gang and Bobby and Uni and Avenger, but instead we got this. Why? That's my question. Why? We need, yes, Hungar, we needed a movie about the kids. We got a movie. I guess I don't know what's going on with the copyright because, you know, Disney owns part of the copyright. Hasbro owns part of the copyright, and the original creator of the cartoon owns part of the copyright. So it's all very confusing of what can and can't they use, and whether, you know, last year they said they weren't the kids from the cartoon. It was an homage to the kids from the cartoon. And there were enough points of differences that you could argue, yeah, they're not the kids from the cartoon. They're just look a lot like. And that was how Wizards of the Coast was able to do what they did last year. And that just caused weeks of unnecessary controversy. And I'm sure this will cause weeks of unnecessary controversy where people will be saying, oh, the kids are real. Oh, it really happened. Oh, it's canon, blah, 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 blah. And here, you know, and I think we need to focus on what's important. One, the movie everybody should be talking about is Everywhere, all at once. And if this scene is 13 minutes long, that's not a cameo. Howard the Duck in Guardians of the Galaxy is a cameo, is an Easter egg. This is a short film, which means you could have given us the movie that we wanted. Instead, you gave us Chris Pine. But that's okay because Chris Pine can save anything he touches. I am the OG GM. If you appreciate this, let me know. If you don't appreciate this, let me know. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Help me each hit 1,300 subs by the end of the month. If you're feeling generous on this rainy day, consider heading on over to Big Geek Emporium and buying my merch if you haven't had a chance yet. There's some new merch coming up that I may be excited about. We'll see if people are actually interested. I just got to get off my lazy and get work on it. Till then, stay safe because it's raining. What do you feel about this? I'm sure it's going to be a topic of conversation. So if this scene doesn't get me, now I already posted this video once and it got taken down because I was violating copyright. So let's see if it gets in trouble again. Till then, see ya.